Oh, blimey, God. Right, stop it, mate. Right, over to you, Heather. Yeah, get out of the way. Right. Well, I've heard of spending a penny when I got a feeling in my loins. And every time I went for a wee, I passed out a couple of coins. 5p's, 10p's, 20p's. I found it so uncanny that every time I went for a wee, loads of money fell out of my fanny. I was worried, so I went to the doctor. He said, calm down, it's not really that strange. It's ever so common in women your age. You just go through the change.
No.
Internet dating.
Yes.
Ooh, anybody? Was it worth it? No.
Yeah.
No. It's alright. This one's good. I've given up internet dating forever. Yeah, right. I went out with a bloke in his 70s. He had grey hair and a wobbly denture. He'd not had sex for 10 years. Stuck his knob in my ears. I think he had penile dementia. This one's about summer. Who remembers summer?
Oh,
festivals?
yeah.
Festivals.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah! This is all about those really horrible families that go to festivals. And she just fuck off and die. So, instead of a villa in Tuscany, they're going to be modern and edgy and green, and money well spent on a catechist and tent, because they're joining the festival scene. So which one to choose? Well, since Glasgow sold out, they need somewhere that's cool, hip and arty. And the Weekend Guardian suggests people like them might like the secret garden party. But Dad fancies rocking at Reading, or Download, that's more his scene. But just anywhere to avoid the ear-crunching screeching of Florence in a fucking machine.
Great.
The kids all demand tiny temper, and Mum craves poetry and prose in a yurt. And Dad's going to chill with a spliff and a pill in his Bowden relaxed linen shirt. But when the kids are asleep, they shag madly till they're both all sweaty and spent. And then they're filled with remorse at the sound of remorse from the circle of neighbouring tents. So they pack up their barbecue, bunting and rugs, and Mummy's weeping organic cider tears. And Dad's still off his tits, and the kids have the shits. But they're already planning next year. Oh dear.
Lovely.
Bastards.
Used to. A long time ago.
Yeah. And I must admit, we are a bit addicted to
You're
the
the only one.
We are a bit addicted to the old white stuff.
I'll give you your Christmas version.
It does make a bit of a mess around your nose, but hey, where would we be without Tipex? My boyfriend mixes Viagra with Tipex, trying to impress me and win my affection. But without any warning, he was shocked the next morning when he woke up with a massive correction. Right, this one. Who hates housework?
Yeah.
Normally you only get about 2 people that hand up and I go, well, I'll give you my address, I'll see you tomorrow. Come round. But this one's called I Hate Housework. I hired an Eastern European cleaner, but I don't think I'm having her back. It took her 15 hours to hoover my house. It turned out that she was a Slovak. This one's all about perverted people, so any perverts in the room?
Have a look around. Did you need to ask that question?
What's a pervert?
What's a pervert?
You're surprisingly quiet.
Define that.
Well, I'll tell you. So, if you're a football player, an actor, or a celebrity, or any old dodgy geezer who was once on the TV, are you rich? Did you go to public school, to Harrow or to Eton? And do you like shagging hookers who are twice your age and getting whipped and stripped and beaten? Do you have strange perversions and sexual peccadillos that involve a goat, a dwarf, and a jar of chilli sauce? sucking on a homeless man's toes. Does your sister give you blowjobs? And does your mum still wipe your arse? And can you only get a hard on wearing a World War II gas mask? So you say nothing. So if you don't want the Sunday papers discussing your erectile dysfunction, don't think twice. Just pay the price and see the judge and get a super injunction. This one's about a really good night I had recently. I cleaned my teeth with Anusol after a great night on the tiles. Oh, how my poor ringy didn't have steam when I rubbed toothpaste into my piles. That's a true story. I should have called it one anal bleaching, really. Right, this is an actual true story. I work in, actually no, I don't work there anymore. I used to work in a very large hospital, but
In an office.
I sort of got the sack from there, but not because of this, but it's called, oh dear, where did my jam jar go? You see some sights in A&E, but this guy was so dumb. He'd only got a jam jar and wedged it up his bum. He tried Vaseline and baby oil, but didn't have much luck. The jam jar up his bottom was well and truly stuck. It didn't have a lid on, which formed a vacuum. His sphincter clamped around the jar and it vanished up his bum. They rushed him up to theatre and stripped his buttocks bare, then stuck a big tube up his arse and pumped him full of air. They had to be so careful not to break or crack the glass, because one sip could be nasty and could perforate his arse. Once his rectum was fully expanded, the vacuum exploded in noisy release.
Oh, this is my bit.
And the jam jar that he wedged up his bum shot out safely, but still in one piece. So the moral of the story is, if you don't want your innards to burst, if you're going to stick a jar at your jacksie, make sure the lid's on it first. Thank you.